Welcome, Ernie Lowson. I'm here following our fantastic vertical back to 1959, including lots of highlights, but most notably for the German, some fantastic Spargel with the main course. So Ernie,
white Spargel.
white Spargel. So tell us your impressions of the first course, certainly.
Well, I mean, you know, we had with the first course, we had these 4 cabinet wines, with a smoked eel. I'm basically, anyway, a huge fan of smoked eel. I love it. With us, we get smoked eel always on Christmas and on Easter, you know. That's very traditional. And I love smoked eel. My mother, I mean, that's great, you know. And yeah, well, and we had these 4 cabinets, each 10 years in between, 2004, 93, 83 and 73. I think it was a quite nice range of wines to show you the aging potential.
Fantastic.
And how the wines also develop. I mean, sure that the 2004 was still fresh and even the 93 was still fresh. I think the real, I would just want to say, the 83 was possibly the biggest surprise of all these 4 wines, because that was fresh as a daisy.
Tastes like a spec list.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
In these days. But 83 was a great vintage. So, I mean, these things had been already a little bit declassified in these days. And 73, okay, here you saw already the maturation with the wine. But still, for 73 Cabernet, therefore that it has nearly, 40 years old, it was delicious. I mean, yeah, we all know, I mean, I like matured wines. I like them also if they have a little bit more maturation. Also with my Burgundies or Bordeaux. I rather can go even further where other people say, oh, I don't know, that's a little bit too old to me. Then I still like it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then with the second course, the foie gras, that was definitely the ideal.
Phenomenal.
With these kind of 3 auction spätels, because they are, you know, these auction spätels are really basically high-end Auslese selections, you know, from these kind of...
It's about 90 grams per litre residual sugar.
Yeah, and very high must weight. But 100% healthy grapes, no botrytis from all these mille rondage grapes, these little, you know, hen and chicks berries. Seedless berries. And so very small yields. I think this kind of high-end, you can say high-end sweet wines, but low in alcohol, 7% alcohol, great acidity, you know, works perfectly for me, you know, because it gives this foie gras dish more light character. Because if you have foie gras, which we all know is meat butter, I mean, that's not the lightest thing in the world, and you have a wine like Sauterne, which is 14.5% alcohol and very heavy, then the first course always... You usually are done already for the whole meal, yeah? But here, having a wine which has a great embracing acidity, cuts through the fat, you know, and gives the whole dish rather a light character, I think that was definitely the perfect combination. If you like foie gras, then these wines are perfect.
Can I just say that I devised that dish for Hugh Johnson. We did a dinner. I'm afraid it was with Pruden, Spätlese, and he asked
They're cousins,
he
it's
asked
right.
me to come up with a dish when we did a big auction dinner at King's College, and that was the dish I came up with. And Hugh said, "Don't change anything." He loved it. It was actually smoked duck, but I give you smoked eels.
Couldn't be bothered, could you, really?
I couldn't be bothered to smoke the duck. That was
Lazy.
the origin of the dish some 15 years ago.
Oh, okay.
For Hugh.
That's great. Yeah.
And then the main course, we moved on to...
The asparagus and the sea trout.
Fantastic. Great to see it served really quite nice and pink.
Was it pink?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It didn't look great to me. I was a bit nervous about that dish. It looked a little
Oh
bit
yeah, I
heavy.
thought it was average at best. I left mine.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, we had, 3 vintages from our most famous vineyard, Erna Prelat, 90, 85, and 71.
120, 130-year-old ungrafted vines.
All 100 plus uncrafted wines, yeah. All
Yeah.
100, and that's definitely our oldest vineyards. And
there's a little theme park ride to take you around as well, right? There's a little theme park ride to jump on the little metal scale thing to take you around through the vineyard as well.
This monorail.
Yeah.
To transport stuff.
What would you imagine the chef would come up with to match those wines for a main?
You know, I think it's very difficult because, I mean, if you didn't taste the wines beforehand, you know, then because the wines have been all so different. You know, the 90 was still, you know, here's the 90. If you taste it, it has a great acidity, very lively, yeah, but still some residual sweetness. The 85 was also still fresh, but much drier in style. And the 71 is also a very botryticized wine. So it has basically 3 wines which are quite different in taste, you know, from lively acidity to already dried out style to a very botryticized style. From that point of view, what I saw and what I liked was the asparagus. They had been quite sweet, I mean very sweetly made. I don't know, I mean...
Where did they come from?
Caramelize them a little bit?
No, not at all, no. The asparagus
That was extremely sweet.
No, they were absolutely straight. But really? I introduced sugar by this idea of putting almonds into the potato and the balsamic vinegar. That was the only sweetness. Sugar.
Where did they come from?
France.
From France.
Did it work or not? Sort of. Half and half.
Sort of, yeah.
Yes.
I would rather, I mean, this kind of wines, you know, when it comes to Auslese, I would rather, as I said, we had it but already beforehand, the foie gras, or some spicy, you know. Anything which is spicy, you know, spicy and heat, you know, because spice and heat works very well with the sweetness and the lower.
A little bit of chili.
Yeah.
We should have maybe gone to that Chinese restaurant just down there.
Something like that, you know. You know, I was somewhere in a friend of mine. He did a whole vertical of Prelat. He had something that was quite interesting too. That was raw scampi's, you know, and you know a little bit spicy, and with a kind of a fruit puree of mango, you know, on it, you know. I mean, with the acidity, and so that was quite interesting because the freshness, you know, and the chili and the fruit puree. I mean, it was a strange combination.
No, I understand that.
But that was, I mean,
that's early part of the meal. I thought that would be the Spätlese or the early.
The Auslese is
really full-bodied.
You know, I mean, if you taste them, you know, it is kind of already, you know, severe wine, especially when it comes to the Prelat. We know that is our ripest stuff,
Yeah.
That is rather, you know, what other people call fine Auslese,
So,
or the cheese was also what have been.
I was going to say, and then we move on to
a little bit of the you know, still no whatever, you know.
Really?
Still because the saltiness always works with sweetness, no? Yes, salt and sweet, you know. And
so we moved on to a pair of Feinster Auslese.
Yeah, which I thought was great with the cheese. I like the especially. I mean, that is exactly what I said beforehand. Before I knew what cheese comes, I like this red rimed, you know, cheese, and there was a Münster on the cheese plate, and cheese Münster with the cheese plate and the cumin in there. Yeah. That was perfect with these 2 old whites. That was perfect.